You worked at Amazon for a couple of years before joining Redfin. So curious what your perspective is as a former employee of the fact that Amazon faced so much backlash in New York City and has also faced backlash in your hometown of Seattle.
That's right. Just a few years ago, Amazon was going head-to-head with our city council, and we're really kind of cast as the villains when it comes to housing affordability. Now in New York City, they're up against some of those same concerns, and I think they just don't want to have to deal with that all over again. They want to go someplace where they're going to be welcomed with open arms. Amazon is a very customer-focused company, and they'd rather just focus on supplying goods and services to their customers and not get into issues like housing affordability or wealth inequality.
How is this going to impact or not impact the New York real estate market? Like, if Amazon ended up in Long Island City, what would have happened? And now that they're not going to be there, what happens?
Yeah, we've talked to some of our real estate agents in Long Island City, and they've told us that Long Island City was already on the up and up. There was a lot of investment even before Amazon made their announcement, and there's been a lot of growth in new construction, and Amazon leaving probably won't change that. Amazon selected Long Island City for a reason. They have a really good proximity to Manhattan, and it's going to be growing with or without Amazon.
I have a chart here in the Bloomberg showing the distribution of Amazon's real estate expansion. Most of it, the majority of it, it goes to data centers. This would be office space. Data centers is in the white here. Office space is blue. So this really is just a tiny portion of Amazon's real estate expansion, which probably speaks to your point. What does it mean for Northern Virginia? I mean, will it bring benefits, when it comes to the real estate markets to Northern Virginia, or could we see pushback from those residents years down the line?
Well, Amazon announced that they were going to do another HQ2 in D.C. in Northern Virginia and also put 5,000 jobs in Nashville. And those areas are going to be much better able to absorb new migrants, new jobs. Nashville in particular has had a really good track record of being able to absorb all the people coming to their city. It's one of the top migration destinations according to our Redfin data. And because they've been able to grow their housing supply, housing has stayed affordable. Northern Virginia has a lot more room to grow as well, and they probably won't face as much backlash there.
So Amazon now saying that they're not going to further pursue an HQ2 search. They're going to stick with Northern Virginia, stick with Nashville as a sort of mini hub. Do you think that's a loss for anyone?
So I think that those cities are very able to absorb new Amazon jobs. I think what's going to happen is that there are going to be some cities over the future that are going to be eager to take on new jobs, whether they're from Amazon or other tech companies like Apple, Microsoft. And there are going to be some cities that really have to deal with their own housing affordability issues before they can absorb new migrants. New York is an example, San Francisco is another example, and so is Seattle. They're going to have to start looking at rezoning, increasing housing density, before they can start to take in more jobs. Otherwise, they're just going to see their housing rates go up, and it's going to be more and more unaffordable to live in those places.
Now, you're a Seattle resident, so very
Yes.
familiar with the pushback that Amazon has gotten there. Do you think that Amazon needs to do a better job dealing with its impact on the community?
I think from Amazon's perspective, they've done a lot of positive things for Seattle. I came to Seattle for Amazon because I was offered an attractive job, and I've really enjoyed living in Seattle. And I think Seattle has benefited from the migrants that have come here. But at the same time, Amazon feels like they could go to another city that has more room to grow and bring prosperity there. Anytime that a city experiences a lot of prosperity, they have to deal with inequality, and the residents who've been there for a long time see their rents go up and have to grapple with that. So I don't think that's necessarily Amazon's responsibility. I think that it's up to local governments to really plan ahead and figure out what they're going to do ahead of time in order to absorb prosperity.